Welcome to the channel. This week on the Kiwi Barefoot Gardener, we take a look into how I put my vlog together and step behind the camera. And the rest of the week was taken up with a mishmash of little jobs that needed doing around the garden. Come potter with me in the garden. My name is Dawn and I am the Kiwi Barefoot Gardener. Good afternoon. It is Saturday and it is a glorious day out here. Now, this week I thought we might do something a little different and look at how I actually put the vlog together. It's quite organic, for a better word, which is a great word for a gardener, but an organic sort of thing. I have a very loose structure of what I do, but yeah, I thought this week I'd bring you along on the journey. Right, so most of the time it's just me, the camera and the cats in the garden, but this week I've got the family helping me because I can't be behind the camera and in front of the camera sort of thing, so it's very good of them to help out. So I have a fairly simple setup for my videoing. I don't do anything special with special cameras. I use my phone and a tripod that the hubby has given me to use, which makes it easier for me to actually get the shots without shaking. And one of the other things I have is a little remote that I can turn the recording on and off. It saves me having to get up and down. But I do have to sort of decide what the shot's going to look like roughly. So I'll just go through that with you now. So I sort of decide what I'm going to be doing. So today I've decided the broccoli need tidying up, and then with my trusty tripod I just bring it over to where I want, and it's fairly basic. It's just a matter of, you know, turning it around and finding the levels really, so that you don't look like the shot is me standing on a funny angle. Once I've got that bit sorted, I just work out if you can see me, and I usually use the front forward camera so I can see the screen, otherwise I can't get the thing. And once that's ready and done, usually plop my bum down because I can't stand for too long, decide what I'm going to talk to you about, and then start recording by pushing the button. As I go along, I'll often stop and gather my thoughts because I don't always have all the words together, and just move along. So once I've done one area and shot and what have you, I'll then move the camera and the tripod along and reset it and then start another shot. And that's how I get all the bits and pieces I need during the week. Good morning. It is Friday morning and it's been a really busy week. And not just with recording and what have you, just with other things, family life and some of the projects that I do outside of gardening directly in my own place. So way back on Saturday we looked at how I do my recording, which is a really simple setup. Usually just me, except for that day I had family helping, and just a tripod, and I just record things as I go, and then yeah, just move the camera around as required and get the shots, and that is what I call my raw footage. Once I've got everything I need, or at least part of what I need, I start looking at it and deciding what I'm going to do with it. I think every YouTube creator has their own little way of doing their method around getting editing done and things like that. I use a reasonably simple editing package called Clipchamp. It's just comes with, I think it's Microsoft. And it's reasonably basic because I won't buy the add-ons. I'm a cheap person. Oops, sorry for the mic. I'm a cheap person and I don't want add-ons or anything like that. I have a very small computer box and things like that, so I've had to do an add-on for storage for my videos and things. But I just, as I said, use my phone, so I download all my stuff via this connection, and then pop it on that hard drive so that I've got it all there. Once I've downloaded everything and worked out what's what, I actually do a rough editing sequence thing after going through all the raw footage on my computer, and just give myself an idea of how I want to put the vlog together. I just go through the footage, check that it's got reasonable sound, it's usable, that I haven't mucked things up too badly, write down the sequence in my book, and then once I've gone through that phase, I actually start the editing using Clipchamp. I won't go through the whole editing phase, it's long and messy, but there's a lot of things to it. So you've actually got to do the editing. You've got to have a thumbnail usually, whether you use the auto-generated ones on YouTube when you upload them. I make my own just using, what's the silly thing? Hang on, let me look. I usually use PowerPoint and drop pictures in and just get them. So that gives me something that I can save as pictures, which then uploads to the thing as a JPEG, and I can use that. You've got to go through and layer your music and layer your things like the subscribe thing, any links that you want to put on the screen, that gets all layered in, and then at the end it's the titles. Depending on what's in the vlog, it can take me up to 5-6 hours to do that. It can sometimes be quite time consuming. I put in a vlog description, so I type that up, and you don't have to. Some YouTubers don't, but I like to put a vlog description in. Then it comes to uploading. Once you've actually got everything set in Clipchamp, you've got to render it. So that's just a process that the computer can do, and depending on how fast your computer is, mine takes up to anywhere to 30 to 40 minutes depending on the complexity of the video I've made. As I said, it's a little computer, it doesn't work fast. And then it's uploading it to YouTube. Now, that depends on their end and your internet connections. I've got reasonable internet connections, but if their end's being slow, it can take up to an hour for some reason. Generally, it's around about 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes. And then as you're going through, you've got to drop things in and answer questions and tick things on, etc. Now, because I use music, I normally get pinged by YouTube for copyright for my music that I'm using. However, I have downloaded my music previous from a site called Pixabay, and I always get the license. So it's a matter of just going through the process of saying, actually, I have a license. And that's just more an annoying thing that it's not YouTube itself, it's third parties that do it through YouTube, claiming ownership to the music even though you've used a free site and you've got license. It's just a damn nuisance. Nothing you can do about it because YouTube allows it. And once it's uploaded to YouTube and what have you, come Sunday at 5 o'clock, I do some little promos on Facebook to let you know that it's there. If you're subscribed, of course, it will ping you to say that there's a new video has dropped, though YouTube system can take anywhere from a minute or two up to the next day before it will ping you to say that there's a new video on a channel that you're subscribed to. So that's my week putting a vlog together. If you've got any questions, just pop them down in the comments. Always, happy to answer any questions and what have you. It's been a learning experience for me, how to edit and all the processes of YouTube and everything like that. You certainly don't make your fortune on YouTube if you're a small creator like me. Those that have got, like 100,000 or 1 million, whatever, they're making the money. But a little creator like me, I get my revenue, in theory, off the ads that play. But to get to that point, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And those 4,000 watch hours have to be done within 12 months. Then there's a whole lot of other hoops that you've got to jump through, and eventually you'll get some payment. And here in New Zealand, we have a cap of $130 before you'll get a payment. So you have to make, say, if you want to get paid monthly, you have to make $130 a month on them to get a payment every month. Not me. I have made just on $130 in 6 months doing that. And I officially get my first payment from YouTube this coming month, because they go first of the month to the end of the month and don't pay out for that month. So like for May, I don't get my payment till around about the 21st of June. And that will be my very first YouTube payment, and that will be in over a year since I started. So if you haven't subscribed yet, it would be absolutely awesome if you could. And I know the ads are annoying, but if you can watch them through for a wee bit during the videos, then that actually adds to my little pot of money. I know it sounds dreadful, but you know, you do what you got to do. And I started it to share my gardening with everyone, but to be able to do things like go out and to visit places and what have you, I need a little bit of money. And at the moment I've been going off my own money, and finally I'll get my first payment next month, so it will be a real day. Right, as I said, it's Friday morning. I'm going to see if I can get a bit more gardening done this afternoon. I'm not sure, but if not, I'll catch up for a coffee and chat. So while it's Saturday afternoon, and normally on Saturdays I'm editing the vlog, I managed to get most of the editing done yesterday when the weather was yucky. So that was quite good, and it's absolutely gorgeous out here. So now I've got this afternoon to be out in the garden. So while I still actually have to upload the video to YouTube, I'll do that this evening. It's too nice to be out, not to be out here. So I'm going to finish one of my things that I had to do for the last week on my to-do list, and it's just the tidying up of the broccoli, and then the back garden will have been done. It will have had its late autumn tidy up, so I'm quite pleased about that. And depending on how the day goes and how fast I move, I might do a few other things, but you don't need to watch me doing this again. We did that in the last vlog with the cauliflowers and things, so I'll catch you on the other side of doing this. Right, that didn't take too long. Got that done in about 5 minutes or so. I've been doing a wee bit of watering since. The garden is dry. Yeah, we're getting the cold winds and things, but we're not getting the rain like other parts of the country are getting. But anyway, I'm going to water these broccoli and then decide what next. Right, that's all the watering done. Pleased with that. And as I've said multiple times, it's dry. Now, one of the things I did do last week that I ended up cutting out when I was editing was that I did the irrigation system for the back garden flower bed, which I tidied up off camera the previous week. And I haven't tested it out yet. And I've just connected the hose, turned off though, there was a bit of a dribble of water in it, and I see it's already got a leak, so I can see a bit of patching going on here. But I only put in, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 sprinklers. Now I'm pretty sure that's not enough, but I just wanted to see how it went. I've got to add some plants to this bed this year. I've taken out a few that had sort of done their dash. A few lavender, despite the fact that they were English lavenders, had got quite woody, and a few other things that had just sort of gone bonkers. But I also need to replace the rose that I had in there, and that rose is Charlotte, and I had put that in there in memory of our old cat before the 2 boys, Charlotte, who was my constant garden buddy. She was great at that. Now, so I really want to get the watering system sorted before I get the rose, because I think one of the reasons why the rose didn't do so well, lack of water, it to get crowded out. But While roses are fairly hardy once they've got their roots right down, like the ones I've got by the big window, when they first go in, they do need a lot more TLC and less competition. So I think this rose that I had, just, yeah, between the competition and the lack of watering, it just didn't do well. So I'm going to replace that, but I need to get the watering system sorted. So I'm going to go and turn the water on in a minute. I'll turn it on quietly because I've got a feeling we might have a few fountains. Now I know this isn't a great shot of me, but what I was trying to point out was my leak. Actually, come to think of it, it might be the goof plug that I put in. Ah, okay, well that's fixable. I can put in a different plug. Okay, leak resolved. I found that there was a hole back there that must have had a sprinkler in it at some stage. Certainly not one I removed, because I did goof plug the one I removed the other day. Had me doubting there for a few minutes. Anyway, I've goof plugged it and it's sorted, so that's good. I'm going to leave it for now and go and do something else for 10 minutes because it's coming up 3, and at this time of year, oh yeah, the sun's probably got another 40 minutes, maybe 45 before it's going to dip behind the hills. So yeah, pretty pleased with today. So tomorrow will be a non-my garden day. I've got other things on, catching up with a group of gardeners, doing something else, but weather's good on Monday. I'll be back out here. Back garden's fairly well done at the moment. I've got pockets I've got to do. I mean, I've got the roses to do, I've got prune them, I've got the fruits, the black currants and the red currants and the gooseberries to trim, but that's not quite right yet. The strawberries are coming up, so it's going to be a big strawberry clean out this year. They've been there 2 years, so I lift my strawberries every 2 years, so we'll go through all that, but it won't be this week's vlog. Probably next week's vlog. I'll see how timing goes. Yeah, and I think I've got everything I need for it, so I can just get on with it once it's time. I like to do it early June, so yeah, that'll be good. But for today, I think I'll leave it and catch you in the next couple of days. Good morning. It is Monday and it's about 11:30. Sun's out. I'm out in the front garden. I've got a few tiny little chores that I need to do. I've just got some weeding of pots to do and some replacement of a couple of cyclamen that have unfortunately not done well, and I've got some ones to replace it. And I've also got just a couple of handmade troughs that I have done in the past, and they just need some bulbs in them, so I'm going to do all that this morning. And then this afternoon, depending on where the sun is and the wind is, I'll decide what's next. I've got a couple of things that really need to be done down the side alley, but it's just really dependent on the wind for that. Now, these are the pots that I put my first lot of pansies in, good month or more, almost 5 weeks ago, I'd say. Unfortunately, they got powdery mildew, and one seems to have given up the ghost. I have been picking the leaves off and they are doing okay. There's a bit more I can do today, but as you can see, one's decided to flower, which is great. However, I've also sprouted a whole lot of flowers, which will have come from the flowers that were in there. So I'm just going to have to do a wee bit of weeding and then remove a few leaves, and yeah, I've got 5 pots in total. This is 3, and I'll give them a quick tidy up. Okay, that 5 pots are all tidied up and the soil broken up and bits and pieces taken out of it, and the spits that I'm still suffering with powdery mildew I've taken off. They're just starting to flower. There's flower about to come out there and there. I'm not expecting these ones to do huge amount of flowers over winter, just a wee bit, because they don't get sun that much of the day here. But as spring kicks in, they should put on a nice display then. So that'll be quite good. But the ones out the back deck, which I did just about 2 weeks ago maybe. They're doing really nicely. They'll flower all through winter. These ones here I put in on the 10th of the 4th, so yeah, they'll just sort of quietly do their own thing over winter and then give me a spring display as the sun starts hitting this area more. I can only work in this area at the front garden in the morning, so it's a sort of a balance between when it's warm enough post frost or whatever and when I lose the sun. So over the next 6 weeks, because we're just coming up to the 3 weeks roughly to midwinter, so yeah, but plenty to do out here, and it might be just about rugging up because I've got the trees to do, and eventually the midwinter or just after midwinter I want to lift the roses and things. So yeah, about 4 weeks time, but at least the big long raised beds in the sun longer. So these were the cyclamen troughs I did a few weeks ago now, and I'd bought 3 on a special. And unfortunately one of them's given up the ghost. I'm not quite sure why, because the other 2 are okay. I've just tidied this one up, but it does have new buds on it, but this one just died over a number of weeks, and I thought initially it was just transplant shock, but no, this one's okay. It does need tidying up. It's worth, if you've got cyclamen in pots outside, giving them tidy up. I never do the ones in the ground because I just can't get down there along that bed going to the front door, and they tend to do their own thing. But the potted ones I try and keep tidy, and I just go through and remove any dead foliage. It just prevents things like powdery mildew and what have you on them. And it gives me an idea to see how well they're doing in the pot too, because they can start to look a bit unhappy, and these ones have been. So I'm going to replace this one, and I've got a lovely one here, though actually I might use the white one because that was what that was. So yeah, I might go back to the white. Right, I've repotted a white one that I'd bought. And the one that was in there, I mean, it rotted out, I think, and it shouldn't have because it's not overly wet in there. The bulb is soft, so it's no good. I'll biff it in a bit. And I've just tidied up these ones. They're not thriving either, and I'm not quite sure why. These were the ones from last year that I repotted. I mean, there's leaf on them. On 2 of them, there's nothing on the 3rd one, but I've just lifted that bulb and it's still firm, so it should take. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm going to give these a drink in a minute. Now I've got these absolutely lovely ones that I gave into a whim, and I think I'll find some pots for them in a minute. I might give them a pot each and see how they go. And but yeah, they're beautiful colours. I was going to put them in the border leading up to the door, but it hasn't had a good tidy up yet, and these need to be potted on because they're starting to look a bit root bound when I put my finger in underneath here. They feel a bit too firm. So I've also bought myself a new sage because the sage that I had there was looking a bit sick, so I'll pop that in either today or soon. And I've also yeah, I couldn't help myself, I bought the cats a new catnip. Now I'll pop this into a big pot and I'll pop it in the greenhouse because I just want to get it to a better size before I put it out in the garden, before the boys absolutely trash it, which they will. The catnip that's in the garden, it's there and it looks like it might be recovering, but this is an insurance policy. Okay, one potted up. I'll do the other one after lunch, and I'll pop them by the front of the garage, and they'll get a bit more sun than the ones down the side alley, but they'll be okay for for winter and early spring, and when it gets too hot I move them around by the front door where they'll be in the shade for the summer, and they can summer over there and see how they go. But love the colours on them. Right, I'll catch you after lunch. Right, it's just after lunch, and as you can see I'm already losing the sun here. It's just after 1. I'm going to finish potting up the other really nice cyclamen, and then just do the 2 containers with bulbs, and then I think I might head either into the greenhouse for 5 minutes, but I do have something to do down the side and I just might have to tough it out. We'll see, but I'll get this done and we'll catch up after that. Good afternoon. It is Wednesday, about 1:30ish maybe, and it's been grey and cloudy and bleh, all morning. It broke about 12:30, so I bolted for the outdoors. Yesterday wasn't much better, it was pretty yuck. Plus I had a special project to do yesterday. I had a birthday cake to bake for a family member who's having a significant birthday this coming week. So yeah, I got that done instead. But I'm escaping now to the outdoors because I've been stuck in front of a computer all morning doing application forms for different things to do with community groups that I'm in. And yeah, my brain has gone, bleh. So I just need some outside time to clear my head and reset and refocus. Lou's just arrived, he's just down there. He must have heard me talking. He'd been in several times wanting me to come out, but yeah, so he's quite happy now. Now, one of the jobs that I really need to do is out the front. However, sun will have already been gone from the area I want to work in, and there is a slight easterly wind, and while I'm not wearing a jersey at the moment, it's not that warm, but because I'm in the sun and I'm in the shelter from the wind out back here, it's okay to be just in a light top. So I was thinking about what I could do. I mean, I do have a few bulbs that I want to plant, but they're not urgent. But one area I do need to tidy up is along the rose bed, the raised bed with the roses and the lavender. Now, for me, it's a bit early to be pruning my roses, but I could tidy the actual beds up. I've got about half of the lavender that I never got around to finishing, just cutting back after its summer thing, so that can all go. And it actually hasn't rained here for most of the month, so it's really dry, so I thought I'd give the bed a good soaking. And there is a couple of long suckers off the roses that I will clip back because they're rubbing on one of the windows, and it's annoying in the night or in the evening. You can hear them go across the window when you're trying to listen to other things. So that's what I'm going to do this afternoon. Might do a bit of speedy and a bit of music, and we'll see how we go. I do need to go in early, unfortunately. Between 3 and 4, because I'm going to get the boys in early. We have the cats in at night. They're out during the day, so basically from the moment we get up they're out, and they're out all day. But Bo's decided that he's not coming home come dark, so he spent the last couple of evenings out with us wandering around looking for him after dark, and I want to get them in early, and that means I need to go in as well because they don't like me being outside and them inside, which is fair enough. So we're aiming to get them in between 3 and 4 today, so that we can re-establish a pattern with them that they need to be in by dark. And Lou's just wandered back. He's just been inside for 2 seconds. Right, let's get on with it. Bit of speedy and catch you on the other side. That's the lavender done. Unfortunately, the sun's disappeared. It's gone behind that high cirrus type cloud, which is a shame. Just wanted to talk to you about clippers. Now, I'm notorious for losing my clippers. I find them in all sorts of strange places, like the compost bin. And I've rescued recently them out of the green council bin, but I was recently thinking about getting some of those electric ones, you know, with the battery pack, but the battery pack ones weighed anywhere from, I think, about 1k to 2k because of the battery itself, and that was just too heavy for me. But I did find a really nice pair. Oh, hello, Bo. Bo's come by. Yeah, I haven't seen much of him today, so that's really nice. Hello, darling. Nice to see you. So, yes, I did find a really nice pair that was sort of like that and had one of those USB point things, and you plugged it in and the battery was in the handle, and it was a lot lighter. It was only about 600 grams. And I did think seriously about purchasing one. They weren't cheap, but when I looked at comparable really good brand hand ones, it was around about the same. The thing that put me off was I do a lot of pruning, so I would probably end up having to recharge them halfway through my afternoon or my morning. I was a bit concerned about slipping fingers off because I can be a bit gung-ho with my snipping, so that was all a bit of a concern. But the other thing that really finished it for me was with aging and disabilities and, you know, age-related issues like arthritis and things like that. It's very much about using it or losing it. So I sort of decided, yes, I haven't got a huge amount of strength in my hands, and it really showed the other day when I was trying to stick in a goof plug and just could not get it into the irrigation hose. But it is important to keep using your hands as much as you can. But like everything with my gardening, I have to pace myself, and so does anyone who's getting older or who has a condition that might be affecting their ability to get out and do their gardening and things. So I decided, no, I'd stick with my hand ones. Now, as I said, I was looking at a really nice pair. I decided that with me being bad and leaving my tools out in the garden and or losing them or chucking them into the compost and things, it probably wasn't worth buying really, really expensive ones. These are Gardena. They're not cheap. You know, like they're not, you know, $15 pair or whatever they cost now. My big problem is that they blunt. They blunt really easily because I chop everything. I mean, you just see me hacking away at the lavender. So that sort of wears the edge off them really quickly. So instead, I decided to get myself a sharpener. In the past, I've just had them sharpened, you know, once, maybe twice a year, and they blunt really quickly. So it's sort of a, you know, I'm just not keeping up with it. So I bought this. This is one that was in the local hardware store. There was 2 or 3 different brands. One you sort of had to jiggle the thing in and out and what have you. And I thought, no, can't be bothered doing that. So this is just a really plain one. It's got a diamond, they've got a diamond hone and stone. I don't think that, yeah, but it's a fine thing because all I'm wanting to do is actually just keeping an edge on it. So yeah, I've been using this now for 2-3 weeks, and yeah, it has made a difference. I do have to, you know, do it fairly regularly. I mean, during that I had done it at the beginning, and then partway through I redid it, but you know, they've got a reasonable edge on them now. I probably need to sharpen them a lot better for doing my trees and my rows, because you want really nice sharp clippers for that, and of course clean them and things like that. So I just thought I'd show you that and have a wee discussion about, you know, it may be worth it for you if you're wanting to cut through things more easily and better, as in for the plant, to get something or you might feel that, you know, getting the electric ones is what you want. And it's a really personal thing, and I decided in the end I'd go for just these. Though, saying that, I am seriously thinking about getting one of those little mini chainsaws for some of the bushes around here, not for mine, ones that hang over my fence. Right, that's them tidied up, and I think I've done my dash. Bo's over on the fence. He's got his eyes on something, I have no idea what. But yeah, I think I'll go inside and maybe get a head start on the editing this week. Well, it's that time of week for a coffee and a chat. It's Saturday morning, reasonably early. The cloud hasn't broken up, so it's not particularly warm out here. But I got my coffee and I got my cat again. He's decided to come out and hang out with me. So what did we get up to this week in the garden? Well, first of all, we went behind the camera a wee bit and saw how I record my vlog during the week, and a wee bit around how I edit, put it together and upload it to YouTube. So, and also a wee chat about how YouTube requires you to do this, that and on the other before you get any monetisation from them. So it's a bit of a complicated process around the whole monetisation and things, what have you, for YouTube. That's why creators like myself, and I'm a very small creator, are often asking for more subscribers and things, because each subscriber adds to what we can get from things like advertising, and it's only a tiny little amount each time someone watches an ad. So yeah, that's why we ask for subscribers, because as the subscribers numbers go up, the views go up, and very slowly does the amount of money that we get. As I said during the vlog, come June will be my first time I actually get any money from YouTube, so I'll be very excited when that happens. It will be a real milestone, because it will be over a year since I started this journey. It took me till Christmas time-ish to reach my 1,000, and luckily enough, around the same time I reached my 4,000 watch hours, so that's good too. And then just over that time, because YouTube has these little rules around different countries sending money through, and then you've got to do a whole lot of tax stuff for the American government because it is based in America. So yeah, it gets fairly complicated. Anyway, enough of that. We spent the rest of the week just doing a few chores that needed doing, repotting cyclamen, fixing up bits and pieces of broccoli, other wee bits, that just little tasks that needed doing. One of the reasons I focused on little tasks this week was because I had reduced time outside. I'd been spending most of my mornings and sometimes even early afternoons in front of a computer filling out forms and what have you for stuff around community stuff that I'm doing, and they were time sensitive, and in some ways they were time sensitive because I hadn't actually got started on them and they were due like on Friday. So yeah, my bad. I hate doing forms, so like a lot of people, I put things off till I have to do them, and last week was the have to do them week. Plus, you know, we had a big family event in the house. You know, birthdays are a big thing here. So yeah, Lou's disappeared. He's got bored with me. So next week I'm going to be focusing on my strawberry bed. It'll be my major thing for the week. There'll be other little bits and pieces that will need doing probably as well, but yeah, I may or may not tackle the rose arbor this week. It is a bit, coming week I should say, it is a bit early to be pruning them, but we haven't had any rain, the ground is firm, and I'm actually going to have to use a ladder this year to get to the top bit of the arbor, so it might be a good time to do it while the ground's still firm. Anyway, enough of me. It's cold out here. My coffee's getting cold, I need to drink it, and I've got editing to do, as you will have seen earlier. So yeah, I think I'll leave it there for now. So until next week's vlog, it's bye from me.